Good morning, this is Angela with Parker's Permaculture. Today's video is a little bit unusual, but I hope you will hang tight with me. So in permaculture design, we are not necessarily looking for the most technologically advanced solution. In fact, we're looking for slow, small, and often simple solutions. Today, I want to show you a piece of furniture that I inherited from my mother. It's a German folk cabinet from 1860. From the Black Forest, and it has some really low-tech and ingenious engineering and design, and I think that it is something that we can learn from in our homes, in our permaculture, in the way we approach design strategies. So whether you are here today because you are a regular watcher of this channel and interested in permaculture design, or perhaps because you saw the thumbnail and thought, oh my goodness, this folk cabinet is super cool looking, I want to learn more about it, this video will have something for you. Folk furniture such as this was often made and owned by folks who might be renting or need to move around, and therefore the furniture was made to come apart and pack flat for shipping, for moving from croft to croft, from farm to farm. This piece is particularly well engineered. Although it appears to be made out of wood from other sources cobbled together, there are no nails or screws of any kind. Everything is made out of wood except for the hardware here. The very clever design allows for just two people to easily take apart, pack, ship, and then put back together this lovely piece of furniture, which was originally used as a wardrobe. I love the contrast of the vibrant red exterior with the soothing green outside. Here you can see where the curtain rod originally was positioned and ran across the wardrobe. Sometime later, shelves were added, we think in the 1960s or 70s. You can see these shelf supports were added with screws at a much later date, but originally there was just a curtain rod through the middle of the wardrobe. Now here's where we get to the really clever construction. These wooden blocks hold the top on to the sides of the wardrobe, and I'll show you what I mean in just a moment. With no nails or screws whatsoever, this top piece is held to the sides and the back with only those two wooden pins. Wooden pegs and pins hold the bottom and the sides together. Here you can see my dad had to make replacement ones for original pegs that were lost in a move in the 1980s. We know that the previous owner kept porcelain dolls in this piece and added the shelving probably 100 or more years after the wardrobe was originally constructed. With the later addition of the shelving removed, let's get a better look at those wooden blocks that hold the top to the sides and the back of the trunk. There are two horizontal pieces of wood around which the block acts as a clip. It's very, very cleverly designed. Those two horizontal pieces are actually tapered and allow the wooden clip to slide over them and wedge into place, securely holding the top to the sides and the back. With no screws or nails, just these few pieces of wood hold the whole cabinet together, and it can be disassembled and reassembled with ease. Please note the little wedge at the top. This piece of furniture is very old, and it has warped and shifted over the decades and many moves. Now, this shrunk has been in its current location for more than a decade with lots of changes in temperature and humidity, so it took some tapping with a rubber mallet to loosen that wooden block clip. With the clips removed, the top simply lifts off like a lid. Stepping back, you can get a better look here at how the piece of furniture is constructed. There is one solid top piece, two side pieces, three back pieces, and a floor. Looking at the back and inside of the piece, you can see that it was made of repurposed paneling. Now the sides are still held on by those pins down on the floor, so let's take a look at those. You can see the vertical peg that is attached to the floor of the wardrobe. It runs up through a hole in the side piece and then is secured with this pin here. My dad labeled it RB for right bottom and the other one LB for left bottom. Labeling things is really important when you are frequently taking apart and moving furniture. Another look at that peg. The wall piece slides over it and it holds it securely together. Again, as we work, it becomes very apparent that this is all repurposed wood from other cabinetry and paneling. The back wall of the shrunk is made of three pieces using mortise and tenon joints. You can see here that the thicker center piece slides over and securely holds the two side pieces. Now, in taking it apart, we found a surprise. Again, that beveling, this was used for something else. This was paneling, perhaps wall paneling in a house. We're not sure, maybe from a barn. Not sure. On the back, we found a surprise. My mother had labeled very clearly when and where she purchased the piece and the history, the provenance of the piece. It says it was purchased by John and Sandra Bishop while stationed at Rhein-Main Air Force Base in Frankfurt, Germany in 1982. It came from the Black Forest and was purchased from a woman who kept dolls in it. It had been in one family the entire time since it was first constructed until my mother purchased it. I hope you enjoyed this little look at some very clever, very simple, low-tech German engineering. I hope when we look at our permaculture designs for our gardens, our homes, our communities, we can know that the most high-tech, advanced, complicated solution is not always the best. Sometimes simple is the most elegant and efficient. Thank you for watching today. Please check out my Patreon down below and please click like and subscribe. I'll be back soon for my permaculture garden in Portland, Oregon.